Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with a very special guest today. I am your host, Damani Carter. Over there is my co-host, Mr. Byron Keaton, and we have Andrew Parker in studio with us today. This is the Trying to Be Grown podcast. Andrew, how we doing?
Good, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on the show. It's been a long time coming. Y'all know I've been asking for a little while, so
Yeah.
ready to get the discussion with you guys, man.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got to get it done. Got our ducks in a row and stuff. Wherever you rocking with us, we appreciate you rocking with us. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and of course YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe so you don't miss nothing. And today, I'm gonna give y'all a little quick rundown as to what we're gonna get into. My man Andrew is transferring out of the University of Arkansas, headed to Appalachian State. So we're gonna talk a little bit about his process, what he's been going through there. We're gonna talk about we're getting into some serious basketball topics now. We were gonna talk about the playoffs, but we had a special request from our guest himself to get into this Kobe, LeBron stuff. So we really gonna get into it today. Byron is gonna be up against it. And then last it's getting warm outside, so it's uncuffing season. And we're just going to talk about, just the changing of the seasons and relationships. And, if we subscribe to those theories, not everything will be time-stamped in the description, which I will not forget to do this time. But just real quickly, Byron, I'll just go ahead and let you start it off in terms of talking about this process.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to know was, was the transfer process any different from high school recruiting versus transferring out after graduation, or was it about the same and things like that?
I would say I was kind of surprised. I was expecting more of a high school type basis, but it wasn't. Obviously I'm a little older now. I'm 21, so it's not them trying to recruit me. It's just, we need you here. We want you to do this. We think that you can be a big part of this, of our plan of what we're trying to do as a team. No sugarcoating. This is what we would like you to do. And so yeah, it's not all that glitz and glamour stuff. That persuasion aspect that people are trying to get, towards with these younger kids, because they can kind of manipulate them a little bit and tell them certain things that they're not going to really hold. But it's more of a business proposition than a recruiting aspect, I would say. So it's much different.
Yeah. And so kind of going off of that, did you know what you were looking for? And if so, what were you looking for during this process? 'Cause I know it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So basically, I entered the portal because, I feel like honestly I wasn't really getting my fair shake. I work hard and I'm very talented, and I'm blessed that I can say that God has given me the ability to play ball. And I just feel like my role is a little bit tougher than some of the other folks, and I'm not going to really speak on that too much, but I was looking to go in somewhere to where I can be the guy, go there and dominate. That's what I want to do. And App State's a remarkable program. You do research on them, they're always ranked. I wasn't really all into the P5 level again. I had some P5 schools that reached out. You know what I'm saying? I took visits and stuff, but that wasn't going to be the determinant in where I was going to go.
Yeah.
I look at all schools. If you're a dominant program and you send guys to the league every year and they get drafted, that's what that's all I need. Now it's just looking for the best fit and looking for the best culture, for everybody to succeed, not just me, but everybody. So
That's what's up. And I guess kind of bridging off that, we know that in recruiting, whether high school or transfer, you get a lot of pitches from a lot of people, and you have to be able to, I guess, compartmentalize and figure out which situation will be the best regardless of what they're saying. So what's it like trying to, I'd say, not really like weed through what they're trying to say to you, but what's it like just trying to make sure that what you're buying is what they're advertising?
I just think it takes like a lot of discernment. I think you can attest to this too. You guys are played ball, college ball. You know, we had some good coaches, we had some bad coaches that didn't keep it real. I think it's the same way. You know, you got to really just find people and find the generosity and the genuine in folks. You know, like the realness and if they since I've been being recruited or been in this transfer portal process, I've had a lot of coaches that I can really see that you know, a lot of them didn't really do their research on me. They just kind of, oh, he's an SEC guy. He played at Arkansas for this time. He played a little bit. Let's just bring him in. Rather than, you know, App State, they did their research on me. They watched my film. They you know, they see what I can bring to the table for their program, and that's the difference. You know, a lot of these coaches aren't really, in my opinion, a lot of them, some of them aren't. There's a lot of good coaches. I'm not going to say they're all coaches. You know, there's a lot of coaches, but some coaches are not as genuine as others. And, you know, I want to make sure that I went to a coach that was for his players, rather than for the benefit of himself.
That's great to hear. Shoot, you really weeding through them out there because that was a great answer. I mean, but I guess the other thing that I wanted to ask, because obviously I went through the process too, figuring out which situation is going to be the best, and we didn't screen you for this question, so if you don't want to answer it, you're fine. You were initially committed to Middle Tennessee, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was it that, and you can speak on it as much as you like, or none if you don't want to, but what was it that, you know, was the deciding factor that put App State over Middle Tennessee?
I would say when I committed to Middle Tennessee, that was like the first one I got out of the portal. You know, that was first out of there. The next, I want to say probably the next week, they came down here and flew down to Fayetteville. We had lunch or whatever. They were great people. The scheme is also good over there. And when I took a visit, I was kind of not really pressured, but, you know, I was more advised by my parents to commit just because I didn't really have anything else at that point, you know, and I was still fresh into the portal. So I committed just out of, you know, being smart and making sure that I secure a spot for myself, not knowing what the future holds, even though I was certain that the future would bring more offers and more opportunities, but I wanted to be smart in the game and just make sure I committed and had a home in case that didn't go to plan. That didn't happen as the plan, you know. So, yeah. What made me change to App State, so after I committed to Middle Tennessee, I started picking up a lot more schools or whatever, you know, and I guess I entered it in a weird time because I did enter in like probably January, end of January, early February. So people are getting ready for spring. They don't really know what they need or what they don't need at that time. So it's kind of weird, you know. So really had to be patient. Honestly, I entered the portal because I didn't feel it would be right for me to go through workouts with the guys, knowing that I had plans on leaving. You know, I put a lot into that program. We've all put a lot into the program, you know, and stuff. So I think it would be it wouldn't be respectful, you know, and that's just not how I do business. I know I can grind on my own, and I know I have some things I want to focus on for myself that I knew for a fact that if I corrected and I took care of it, that I can take my game to another level. And, you know, you probably can do that better on your own than with, you know, a strength coach and multiple strength coaches that are focusing on 150 players. So that's why I kind of just said I'm not going to I think I'm into the portal right now, focus on school, just continue to work and get in the best shape of my life. And, yeah. So basically, with App State, the scheme it's pretty good. You know, they run an odd scheme. They have a jack in the game at all times, but they're slaying the defensive line a lot. So the linebackers gonna be able to be free. All we got to do is really make a read and run. You know, that's something I can do. I can read, react, and run fast. So, and I'm powerful. So that's gonna allow me to really excel in that scheme. They rush the linebackers a lot. So we're playing a big boy scheme, man, and it's gonna allow the linebackers to make a lot of plays. And they got a lot of good players, so I'm excited to that's what was a determining factor for me to choose them over Middle Tennessee, I would say. And they got great coaches and great coaching, man, and people win a lot, you know, so why wouldn't I want to be a part of something like that, you know?
That's
let me say one more thing.
And just thinking about it
they also had, you know, they had an All-American linebacker last year. Last year he's going to get drafted. Probably I don't know what day he's gonna get drafted, but some people got him going second round. His name's DeMarco Jackson. You can do some research on him if you get a little chance. He was All-American, third team last year, and that speaks a lot. That speaks volume to me. You got All-Americans coming out the program, people going out there to get drafted. So that sets the standard of what kind of players they're looking for and what they see in me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. And just thinking about it from a scheme standpoint, that 3-4 system generally, it favors the bigger linebacker. So that I'm excited for you.
Appreciate that, bro.
Just thinking about it initially like that. And just a quick aside, you got more respect for the program than one of our other teammates. And one of the funniest memories that I have is I'm not gonna say his name. There was a dude that we knew was transferring, and the coaches were still trying to talk him in to staying, but his money hadn't hit yet. So we get through, it was probably 2-3 days of workouts. He there, he in the academic center, he doing everything he's supposed to do. That money hit, and not another second, he was gone. He was in the transfer portal that day, as soon as his money hit.
Man.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Man, we had some funny teammates in the past, for
He
sure,
doing
bro.
well now.
Man, that's one thing I definitely I'm grateful for. Just everybody that I met up here. Man, y'all boys was really funny, bro. Like, we had a funny squad, but we had a lot of talent too. I wish things could have been a little bit differently with the coaching situation when I was a freshman for you guys, man. But yeah, it was entertaining for sure.
And I had one more question about like the transfer portal. I know hundreds of people go in the transfer portal, and a lot of people don't end up with stuff. And so, how was it nerve-wracking putting your name in there, knowing that it is somewhat of a possibility? Just I might not get a hit, even though you know you have the talent to play. What was your thought process behind that a little bit?
Honestly, bro, I felt like last year I didn't play as much as I wanted to play, but I know when I played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
So I knew I had the film was there. When you see me play last year, I always sparked, I always made splash plays and stuff like that. So I knew that was going to take care of itself. And then also, I think high school recruitment kind of plays a lot into it too. I was blessed a little bit to be highly recruited coming out of high school my senior year. So I knew that people were going to see that, and they were going to see the film and see the productivity of when I played this last season, and they were going to pull the trigger. So I just kind of left it in God's hands, I guess you could say, and let God take care of himself, because at the end of the day, I know he has my best interest, and he's going to always be there for me. So
yeah.
That's what's up. And I think this might be a tough one to answer, so just take it any way you want to. It's just real broad. What does success look like for you in the upcoming year, just from a football standpoint?
Success in the upcoming year for me, honestly, I got some serious goals. I kind of just keep it to myself, but I'll give you a little bit of a glimpse of what I want to do. In this next year, I definitely want to be drafted. That's my goal. I want to get drafted. I want to get drafted high, as high as possible. And I want to definitely win every game we can possibly win at App State. Let's speak at App State. Yeah, I want to win every game. We got UNC week 1, Texas A&M week 2. I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's going to be a huge opportunity for me to go out there and show what I can do. And I'm excited, man. That's 2 games I'm really looking forward to. I think we get off to a good jump start right there. We beat those 2 teams, and then we win out. I don't know how the AP poll and the college football playoff poll is going to grade us out, because just seeing how they did G5 teams in the past. But I think A&M is going to be a really good team this year. So we'll see how they do going through the season, because I do think they have a lot of talent. They'll be pretty good, and they probably better beat some teams in the SEC. So we'll see how those wins kind of favor us. Hopefully we can finish top 10 in the poll. But that's my goals, for this team, because they have a great schedule. They got the teammates to do it, and the players to do it, and they got the coaches to do it. So really just team success, man. I want to win a lot of games. Individual success. I want to make a lot of plays. I want to win every award that I possibly can, and I want to just be the best I can be and get drafted, bro.
Yeah. And those kind of play hand in hand. If you're making plays, you win more games. You win more games. You got to be making plays.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be following, and I love hearing that. It's refreshing. Just set your goals high because shoot, why
Facts.
not? Why not? Why not you? And why not?
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. I'm well. We
Appreciate
rooting
that,
for
bro.
you, and I'm definitely gonna be following. But I guess Byron, you think we've done
Yeah, I
enough
think
there?
so. That's straight.
All right. So I mean, you signing your death certificate by moving on
And
to
I'm
this
not
next
worried,
topic.
man. I can hold my own.
'Cause usually I'm outnumbered. When I got to talk about J. Cole being better than Future, I was outnumbered. When I was talking
Man,
about LeBron and Jordan with you and
I
Will,
could
I
not
was
believe
outnumbered. When
that.
I was talking about Cracker Barrel with
When
you and
I
Will,
seen that
I was
episode, bro,
outnumbered.
I could not believe that.
For
When
the
I
longest, I
seen
was a J. Cole fan, though.
when I seen even no when Timo was on the show too, like 11 months ago before the season, and he was sitting up here talking about YB over J Cole. I was like, then he said Rilo is a better lyricist than J Cole. I said, oh my god,
They
it's
crazy. Like
yeah.
they're real deal crazy people, man. And I got to deal with it sometimes, but not today. Not today.
Let me buckle up then. Get ready, man.
Not
Let me go ahead
But
and get
YB a
ready.
talented artist though. I'm a big fan of YB, but I think it's really like different. Like you said, I was talking about stratospheres and stuff like that. It's a big, it's a big jump. Like we're talking about poets versus
it's levels.
rappers, poets versus
Yes.
gangbang rap, gangster rap. It's completely different.
Uh,
So
it is levels to the game, and they don't be wanting to get that.
So where J. Cole? I gotta ask,
But
where is J. Cole
speaking
at
of,
on your list?
all time
oh
Yeah.
Lord,
Well, no, modern rap. Modern rap. Well, yeah.
modern rap, I think he's right. What's modern? Give me that. Give me some time. Give me a timeline.
Anything
2010,
after 2000.
and they have 2000.
Yeah.
Well, number one is obviously Weezy. Two,
Okay.
Jay Z.
I'm
Three,
fine
I
with
gotta
that.
go with Kendrick. Four, I'm gonna go
Okay.
Eminem. I'm gonna go Eminem four, and then do I want to put Cole at five? Because if we talking about pure lyricists, I gotta go with Cole. But if we talking about lyrics and success, you gotta go with Drizzy.
Yeah.
So I,
That's just sales. That's just sales. Don't sell
but
yourself
if I'm
short.
going, if personally,
Focusing
I'm
on
gonna
those
take
numbers.
Drizzy, but I wouldn't mind if somebody put Cole in the top five of the modern artists since 2000. I think he's that talented for sure.
Cole is
I don't think he's as
definitely top
active as he
five.
should be though. As far he's active, but he's not as active as a Drake or as some of these guys. So I think Weezy in his prime was very active, bro. Like
Yeah.
Weezy was dropping mixtapes, albums back to back to back. Even Jay Z, like so that's the only thing that kind of knocked. He reminds me. He's like his activity level is on a level of an Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem comes and goes. I think J Cole's the same way. But when he comes, man, he come hard. So you gotta respect him, bro. And Lil Baby is a very good lyricist too.
Little baby
And
up there.
yeah, he's creeping up, bro. So he's in that top 10 for me right now. But if he keep doing what he's doing, he's gonna definitely be top five guy. I don't know who I'm gonna knock off the list, but he gonna get there.
Byron, stop evading the question.
What's the what? You ain't
Stop
asking
evading
the
the question.
question.
You
You
sitting
ain't
there trying
asking
to
the
get
question.
people. No, you trying to get people sidetracked talking about music. We talking
Go
about
ahead, man.
basketball. We
Go
talking about
ahead.
basketball. So what is it about LeBron James that makes him the greatest player of all time in your opinion? We'll let you
Okay.
start.
For one, is multifaceted. We need to get that out there first. One,
All right.
if you just look at his ability to play the game, from offense, from shooting, passing, dribbling, post game, rebounding, you name it, he can do it. He does everything at an exceptional level. He does everything and I have not seen anything like that in my life. I've looked back at things in which he's a mix of Magic and Michael at the same time.
Okay,
You
I'll
have
give you that.
the size of Magic, the passing of somewhat near the passing ability of Magic, and then you have the defensive intangibles and great defense and ability to score the ball when he wants as Jordan. He might
Great
not do it
defense.
at the same level and like always trying to score, but he has the ability to do so. And so when you look at everything he's done from the accolades, most All NBA, approaching the most points all time, just everything that he's done, I got to give the nod to him, to LeBron. And he's done it in the most competitive league ever.
Okay.
That's valid.
Well, let's let me start here. So, versatility is definitely something to consider, and we've had this conversation a bunch of times. LeBron is super versatile. He can do everything you want to do on a basketball court at a very high level, but there are just certain things. When we was talking about rappers, I said there's levels. And I think when you talk about versatility, you have to talk about the level that certain other players have exceeded him in those categories. So in terms of and I love that you brought up the eye test. Because if we were looking at some of the otherworldly scoring abilities of a Michael Jordan, of a Kobe Bryant, even of a Kevin Durant, and at the heights of his scoring ability. No,
I'm not going to say that.
MVP year Kevin
Go
Durant.
Go
MVP
ahead, man.
year Kevin
Go.
Durant.
You don't even know who I was talking about. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you get yours out. I'm gonna say what I need to later, man. Go ahead.
I'm just when we're talking about scoring ability, and I'm not. This is not knocking LeBron as a scorer at all. I just think that some people, there's a very short list, but some people have exceeded him in the scoring category. A lot of people have exceeded him defensively. And when you said the defensive ability of a Michael Jordan, I don't
Peak
think
LeBron?
I don't think he's
Peak LeBron.
No, bro.
No.
Whole time out. When Jordan had the chance to guard one of the top 5 players in the world, he struggled game 1. They didn't go on to win games in the 1990 NBA Finals until Scottie Pippen got moved on to Magic Johnson. Am I right or am I right?
The best player LeBron has shut
Magic-
down his
what?
prime. His best defensive performance was probably prime Tony Parker in the finals.
Yeah, and Tony Parker was going crazy.
But yeah,
A point guard.
Wait, Damani, you've given Kobe credit for shutting down Allen Iverson, and he's a point guard that's 6 foot.
Are we comparing
Allen Iverson, Tony
Hold
Parker.
on. Stop. Are we comparing MVP
To
year
Tony
Allen
Parker.
Iverson to
Yeah.
Tony Parker?
Yeah.
Tony
Is that
Parker's
what
a great
you're
player
saying?
now. I'm not gonna lie.
Stop it.
But no,
No,
come on now,
it's
AI.
not.
And he
Yeah.
still averaged 35 a
I know
game.
better. He
Or
did
was it
not
like
average
30, my
35
bad.
a game.
Actually, he did
No.
average like 35 a game
Yeah,
or
it was
something like that
impressive. He
this
averaged
series.
35. It was impressive.
No, I'm saying if you take that game out, you said still as if for the last 4 games his average
It was probably
right
still
at,
30.
I don't want to say the wrong number, but it
It was
wasn't
probably
35.
still 30.
It wasn't 35.
Yeah.
He was look at his shooting percentage.
Hey, man, all I got to say, LeBron got second in Defensive Player of the Year. He should have won it that year for a reason. We're not going to just act like LeBron a bad defender now.
LeBron's a great defender.
But
I just don't think he's on the
Kobe's
level of
not
Michael
first
Jordan and
team
Kobe
all
Bryant.
defense.
Who's Michael Jordan
That's
guarding?
what I'm saying.
Y'all give me somebody Michael Jordan was guarding. Give me somebody. Y'all talking about LeBron, the best player was Tony Parker. Y'all give me somebody Michael Jordan was guarding and locked down.
I feel like why are you discrediting the wings in the 90s?
The who?
You always
Why are
do
you
this.
discrediting the wings in
what-
the
always
90s,
do
bro?
this.
What wings were in the 90s that were good that he shut down?
Clyde Drexler was pretty good.
The second best wing in the 90s was Scottie Pippen, and he was on his team.
Drexler was pretty good.
He couldn't dribble it. He couldn't do much.
Drexler, Wilkins,
Joe Dumars.
never mind.
Joe Dumars 6'3".
Okay, I give you that. Dumars is 6'3".
But you want to talk about heights, but the matchup Michael Jordan on Magic Johnson, it just doesn't make sense.
If he's the
doesn't make
best
sense.
defensive
Because-
players, y'all always try to put him up there like he's just God defensively. Why couldn't
that?
he guard Magic and them continue to and them win?
Well,
He didn't do it.
Scotty's a better defender. I'll give him that. Scotty's a better defender than Mike.
You're the first Jordan person or anybody else that say Scotty's a better defender than Mike. Because I know Damani doesn't agree with that.
I think Scotty's a better defender because
it don't matter. We on the same side. We on the same side. Right now. It don't matter. But going to just talking about, I'm gonna be hyperbolic here. The best defender on the Los Angeles Lakers in 2001 was Kobe Bryant,
sure.
in my opinion.
Probably.
In my opinion, but he didn't guard Duncan because from a height standpoint and just from a play style standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. Magic is bigger and taller. Like when I say bigger, I mean he's a larger person. So why wouldn't you put Scottie Pippen
And
on?
you could say Mike's legs on the scoring side, you know. So
Right.
I would do the same thing too.
So it's a sensible matchup. It's not like Jordan
So
was running from any kind of matchup.
so when was he locking people up then? And who?
The year he won the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year.
Before he
averaged three steals a game.
So before he was actually winning games though. So that was like when he was like year 3 or 4 in the league, right?
Well, LeBron wasn't winning that many games when he first came to the league either.
I understand that. But when we're talking about prime Jordan would make him the GOAT, people normally talk about that 1990 to 1999, 80, 98 range. Nobody.
But there's
so are you talking?
The thing about Jordan is there's so many examples to pick from.
Right.
Okay,
there's so many examples.
I guess I need to ask this question. When do you say Jordan was in his peak or prime? Is my first question.
Peak and prime.
Okay, let's go peak. Let's go a 3-year peak.
Peak athletically, it was the first run for sure. Peak from a skill standpoint, because you got to look at it like this. Number 8, Kobe Bryant was a phenomenal athlete, but number 24, Kobe Bryant was the skillful tactician, bro. The menace, he was literally a walking handbook of how to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jordan was the same thing in that second run. Now, then the same thing for LeBron though. LeBron didn't determine his GOAT status when he was with the Miami Heat. That's when he was on the rise. People started calling LeBron or giving LeBron GOAT votes after he won the title in Cleveland. He was nowhere near the athlete he was in Miami.
And
so I think your question is kind of like...
That's why I think it's really...
So who is...
It's just tough to define because they were really good.
Like LeBron in Miami, in my opinion, like that's a menace. I ain't gonna lie, he's a beast, bro. He can do everything. He's an athletic specimen. His head is almost touching the top of the backboard. But I'm taking Cleveland LeBron the second time over that LeBron any day because he's a smart basketball player.
I don't know if I do that.
I would also take.
I don't know if
and he's a better shooter in Cleveland,
especially from an offensive standpoint.
No, he was actually a better shooter in Miami. He was shooting 40% from 3 in Miami.
Okay. How many threes was he really taking? That's
like
bully ball LeBron though.
Yeah.
That's LeBron get to the rack and win every time. So.
And the reason why I say Miami
look at how
better.
he developed his post game. Like I think the Cleveland LeBron is definitely his peak from an offensive standpoint. Just because of how he diversified his bag.
Yeah.
That's why. Because you do have the shooting percentages. I think he improved drastically from his first Cleveland run to when he got to Miami. But that Cleveland,
bro, he was exceptional, especially when he took down the Warriors like that in the finals. Like, you got to give him respect. Like, he's obviously one of the best to ever play the game. But I think people get so into the moment they forget about the other greats, bro. Can't forget about MJ. You can't forget about Kobe. Kobe did the same thing. You can't forget about. You cannot forget about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro.
Yes. Kareem in my top 3.
Kareem, bro. You can make the argument Kareem is number 1. I'm not saying he is, but you can make the argument.
Damani get mad when I say that.
He's not in my top.
Damani don't want to even put him top 5 no more, and I think
he's
that's
top 5, not Damani.
Because he's not even the best 5.
Who you taking, Shaq?
No,
Hakeem is the most skilled big I've ever seen. But when you factor in them accolades, bro, you gotta go with Kareem.
Thank you. But
he just did it for a really long time, and he had a whole bunch of help. Hakeem didn't have no help. He brought a team. He brought a team with no other. And I don't remember if it was no other All-Star. I think I'm 90% sure he brought a team with no other All-Stars. To the finals and won.
Oh yeah.
He led his team in 4 statistical categories.
He's the reason why Kenny the Jet Smith got a table job right
MVP.
Yeah. That was the second best player.
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, first team All NBA. That 94 Hakeem Olajuwon, best big.
I got a question for y'all though.
Go ahead.
Best big.
Bro, if Michael Jordan doesn't exist, where does Hakeem rank, bro? Because I think if Michael Jordan doesn't exist, man, Hakeem might have about 6 rings.
If Hakeem had help, he might have more.
He outclassed everybody else.
Yeah.
He outclassed Shaq. He outclassed David Robinson. Nobody can stop him, bro. Yeah. And he might have 4 or 5 rings, bro.
A monster. And I wish they would have gotten some help down in Houston. I wish he would have been healthy longer. But it's just It depends on how you measure it. If we're just going accolades, yes,
Thank you.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But if we're talking about the best version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar versus the best version of Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm taking Hakeem Olajuwon 10 times.
Okay, I'll give you that. Because Hakeem's peak years was crazy. But that's the same. But here's the thing, though. And I'm going to ask you a question, bro. Who are you taking? Are you taking Tim Duncan or Hakeem Olajuwon?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
I don't know about that, my guy. I'm going Timmy, man. Timmy.
You taking Hakeem over Timmy D? Over Timmy?
10 times.
Timmy 5-1 in the finals, man.
That's Timmy, bro.
There's not even any disrespect to Tim Duncan, but if you're looking at prime Hakeem Olajuwon, better athlete, better rim protector, I'll just give him equal status in terms of guarding on ball. But if you're talking about the ability to score the rock, even if you give him a wash in that, I'm still taking Hakeem because he had the best post bag of anybody we've ever seen. So you can kind of balance that out with Tim Duncan's mid range game. And I'm not like I said, this is not knocking Tim Duncan because Tim Duncan was a killer. As a Laker fan, you don't like him, but you have.
My whole question is like what I was getting to is, and I'm happy you said that because you're very consistent. At least I can't catch you in there. You know what I'm saying? You're being consistent because Timmy D, bro, you can make the argument he's better than Hakeem, but obviously you're right. In Hakeem's prime years, he had a better bag than any big. So it's not. He's probably the best defending big of all time, up there for sure. Yeah. So Timmy D consistently had a consistently better career, but at the prime, at their peaks, I would say you're right, Hakeem Olajuwon for sure. But that's what do you factor? You factor longevity, and I think it's going to get into the LeBron Jordan debate too. Do you factor in the longevity of LeBron? He's going to get 38,000 points, or who had a better prime or peak year? Who had better peak years? Michael Jordan, LeBron.
And my one thing I think you got to add in also with this is that you can't. This is a plus for Hakeem, and with Tim Duncan came into a big dominated league, and as Timmy was in the league, it slowly started transitioning to wings.
Okay.
And so, even though he was 37, 38, he was a big, and so it's a wing dominated league. So it's not any true bigs that he was having to go against at the end of his career. In which he played in the finals Chris Bosh 2 times in a row, in which Chris Bosh is technically a 4, but they playing him at the 5, and Tim Duncan just giving him buckets all night because he really not a big. But if you look at Hakeem having to go against David Robinson, having to go against Shaq, it's a big dominated league there. I think you have to also give props to Hakeem for that. And that's also part of the Jordan debate, is why I say what Jordan did it's impressive, but it's not as impressive based on the type of league it was. It was a big dominated league. So you have people like Jeff Hornick guarding him in the finals. Byron Russell. You're not going against Paul George. You're not going against KD. You're not going against Kawhi. You're going against actually talented wings that if you put any of those people back in the 90s, they would be miles better than Reggie Miller, who was considered one of the best players of the 90s.
But if you look at if we're talking about a big dominated league, you have to talk about the presences that Jordan was facing at the rim, which I think is really important to do.
Talk about the defense, though. The defensive rule.
You could see Hakeem Olajuwon. You could see Dikembe Mutombo. You could see, even when he was younger, you could see Mark Eaton, going back to just all of the really, really significant rim presences that were there and who weren't getting pulled out by stretch 5. Even if you have the illegal defense rule, if your 4 and your 5 are on the blocks, then they just don't have to move from the paint. So if you look, and again, we're going back to the eye test here. If we're talking about just the compression of the floor, just because of the lack of shooting that was on it, Jordan,
look how many free throws he got.
Had to finish.
Look how many he was shooting. He shot over 950 free throws in one season. And to put that into context, that's like 100 more than what Joel Embiid had this year, and he beat everybody by 300.
But I think getting to the free throw line is a skill kind of in itself, even though you don't.
No, them weak fouls, bro. They was anytime Jordan got touched, once they realized
fouls?
Bro,
Anytime,
You talking
you
about
know they
weak
changed the
anytime
fouls?
Jordan got
Jordan rule
touched.
based off Michael Jordan getting destroyed at the rim.
Yeah, and so once he complained about that, anytime Jordan got touched, they called a foul.
But could LeBron play in that league and have the
Yes,
same impact?
yes, he was 6'9", 260.
He don't have the mid-range game though. He didn't have no. Early LeBron did not have the mid-range game of Jordan.
Well, okay, timeout. So, okay, let's talk about early LeBron. When it was a dead ball league in which the paint was still congested, he played the Detroit Pistons, a team that went on to beat the Lakers that year. He put up 26 points in the second half. I think it was actually 25 points in the fourth quarter of their 27 and ended up leading them to win in overtime. I think he had like 28 of the 31 points. And that was a league that was congested. He didn't have a superb mid-range game, and he was still able to score.
He played against the poor man's version
Are
of the
we
Pistons.
talking about individual performances, or are we just talking about like the thing as a whole? Because I think we're gonna get into a slippery slope if we just have to bring up individual performances time
That's
after
the poor
time after
man's
time.
version.
I'm saying
I'm just
Poor
talking
man's
about
version of the Pistons.
they won it that
against
year.
Jordan played against the real bad boy Pistons. That was the second coming. You want to be real, bro?
And he
be
didn't
real,
beat
bro.
him. He didn't beat him until they got old and
and
washed.
this is the part that I really have to like. I'm just trying to process this because you're talking about weak fouls. There's a highlight reel of the Detroit Pistons just beating Michael Jordan to death.
Did they call the
in the
foul?
paint.
Did they call
there's
the
a whole
foul?
highlight reel of it.
Did he get free throws?
Yes, but you're talking about weak. Those aren't weak
I-
fouls.
Okay,
Those aren't weak
I agree.
fouls.
Those were not weak fouls. After he complained after that, like the season when they were doing it just like super crazy and above and beyond, anytime Jordan got touched, they called a foul. Please go look up the film. You don't have to believe. Anytime Jordan started getting touched, how do you think he got 950 free throws in a season? Do you know how wild that is?
But if you're the best player in the world and nobody
Why
can
couldn't nobody guard
you,
him?
then
Why couldn't nobody
of
guard him?
course,
Because it was a weak wing.
because he was
It
the
was
best
weak
player in the
wings
world.
then as well. He going against Jeff Hornick.
Why do you keep going to get Jeff Hornacek was never matched up with Michael Jordan from the beginning of the game to the end. Jeff Hornacek was never
Did he
matched
ever
up with
get
Michael
switched
Jordan.
on
You
him?
keep going to that.
And how often
sure.
did he get switched on him?
Bron has been switched onto what's his name? The little JJ Barea has been switched on to LeBron James. So
He
I'm
had
not
Muggsy
trying to
Bogues
hear
on
that.
him.
Okay.
And he got it. And he got a strip.
So what is your
We
what
also
is
got
your
dunked on
point?
too.
What is your point?
My point is, Jordan. You say he wasn't guard. He was guarded by blah blah blah, and they were calling all these fouls. But at the end of the day, the people weren't good back then. People are drastically better now than they were back then.
Stop that. I got a point to make, bro. You know what? And I'm gonna be fair. You are right. You are right. The '90s was definitely a big dominated league. You know why? Because you can make the argument that 7 of the top 10 players in the '90s were all bigs, either power forwards or centers. And I can go down the list if you want me to.
I agree.
Yeah, like you said, Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Barkley, Malone, Patrick Ewing. You know, the list goes on. They all were great. But let's stop acting like, bro. Let's stop acting like Jordan is just some, you know, he was just a blessing. He was blessed by the time he played in. Jordan was an insane athlete, bro.
I agree.
He's a better athlete than most guys in the NBA right now in his prime.
Yes.
So,
there's some stats. There's some stats to say that he just basically Spencer Dinwiddie. It's some stats.
No, bro. No.
6'6", and they got about the same vertical. And nobody thinks Spencer Dinwiddie's an exceptional athlete, but that's just me.
I don't know about that, bro. He probably got the same vertical, but is he quick? Is he quicker than
He's not as quick at him. No, he's not.
So that's athleticism too now.
Yeah,
Not
it
just
is.
jumping ability.
I'm saying, but it's
Called bro the black cat.
That Michael Jordan is a terrible athlete. He's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, not a terrible athlete. He's a phenomenal athlete, bro. You got to really factor that in and really understand that. Think about it, bro. Look at all the players when they talk about.
And you got to think.
Well, look at all the players when they talk about.
My fault.
Look at all the players when they talk about LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan. Let's just look at it, bro. Like for instance, Shaquille O'Neal spoke on it. He said nobody's close to Jordan. The only person that's close to Jordan is Kobe. You know why? That tells you everything you need to know about Jordan being able to play and dominate. I think Jordan averaged 40 in this league.
here we go.
The defense is so soft, bro. They don't play D no more. They want to score. If James Harden average 40,
spacing.
if James Harden average 35 against this NBA, Michael Jordan can average 40 easily.
Floor spacing. Look at how Harden gets to the rim. Just think about Harden.
And Jordan is much quicker than Harden
with the Rockets. Think about Harden with the Rockets. If Jordan had that type of floor spacing, where even without the pick and roll, just put Brook Lopez out there instead of Clint Capella. And stick Brook Lopez in the corner and let him kick out to Brook Lopez. He would murder anybody that tried to come. There's no doing anything Jordan unless you want to give up.
Put some shooters around Jordan.
You have to give up.
The issue
he only averaged 40.
So the flaw with all of this that y'all are talking about with Jordan is how quick he is and things like that. The thing about it is no one has. Okay, for one, there's more athletic wings in the NBA now that would be guarding. You're going to, for the most part, every single team has some type of 3-and-D wing player that is made just to slow up shooters or like score.
You got Danny Green locking up
How many of these more athletic wings stop Kobe Bryant? That's my question.
They slowed him up.
Kobe.
They slowed Kobe up.
I would say Kobe is a more polished version of Jordan as far as when it comes to skill. Skill-wise, I'm taking Kobe over Jordan. But Kobe is a phenomenal athlete too. Once he's a world-class athlete, obviously, and he's very talented. But Jordan was a little bit more athletic. That's the only difference between Kobe and Jordan.
I would definitely say Kobe was more skilled than Jordan.
Yeah, it's a tad bit more.
And the thing about it is, Kobe, I'm not saying Kobe was in the middle of it. He was in the middle of the transition from bigs to a wing-dominated league, in which towards the end of his career, it was basically all wings. You had the KD in his prime. You had Bron in his prime. You had Kawhi approaching his prime. You had Paul George at his peak before he got injured. You had all these like wings coming into the game and like controlling it. Jordan going against nobodies for the most part. And so all the wings in the NBA, once they saw Jordan come through, teams started looking for wings and started looking for these athletic guys that they can have out there that may become a Jordan. And so some of them pan out, some of them don't. But at the end of the day, there are more athletic people guarding them. And so they're not going to be crowding him because Jordan was, for the most part, a 31% three-point shooter until they moved the three-point line in. A little bit below 30%, actually. Do y'all want to talk about that? Because there's no reason for them to be.
Do they crowd DeMar DeRozan?
He had a better percentage than Jordan.
I'm not going to lie.
Do they crowd him is my question. They go under the screens. Do they crowd DeMar DeRozan?
No.
Yes or no? Okay, then what? So if DeRozan can go off in this league, then what is stopping Michael Jordan from
Jordan
going
would
off?
have the
Because
same.
it's not
He would
gonna-
have the
it's not
same
gonna be
stats.
the
He would
help
have the same
defense.
stats. You are going from what I'm saying is you're going against more athletic people.
Who had the same stats as who?
He would have the same stats as he had back then, probably. Maybe I think a little bit lower.
Yeah, okay. He would average 40.
Oh, I thought you
I
were
think he would have the same as DeMar DeRozan. I was gonna be like, well,
no, he would have his same stats, maybe a little bit lower, I think.
So tell me this.
No.
Let's look at, and I hate to shift gears a little bit, but this is the modern NBA. Let's look at a Derrick Rose, MVP season Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
When Derrick averaged 26 and 6 and 7, I want to believe something pretty close to that. Derrick Rose wasn't a 3-point. He could shoot the three a little bit, but he wasn't a major threat from the three-point line. Michael Jordan's 6'6", just as good as an athlete.
He really 6'5". I'm not giving him 6'6".
He's over 6'5". He's over 6'5", right? He's just as good of an athlete, just as explosive as Derrick Rose, except he's 6'6".
Yeah.
And he has a better shot. He's a better mid-range game, and he's better in the inside. And I think he has better finishing ability than Derrick Rose too.
Do you think he's quicker than Derrick Rose?
No, nobody. But he's not far off though. He ain't far off.
I agree.
So what makes you think that Michael Jordan couldn't go in there and do the same thing consistently year after year?
Derrick Rose shot 41% from the field. He wasn't shooting great from the field. He was just a volume scorer that was super quick and get hits. Only reason why he got MVP was because at the end of the day, his team was, I think, the 1 seed, and they really didn't want to give it to Bron anymore, as Bron and the Heat were the 2 seed that year.
I think Bron has definitely been if I had to say it, be honest, Bron has definitely been a victim of we don't want to give you the MVP a few years.
Mm-hmm.
He has. Same for Kobe though.
Yeah.
Kobe's been robbed out of many MVPs.
I don't know about many.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3. At least 3.
Nope.
At least 3, bro. It's like crazy how they robbed my guy out of MVP after MVP. How can you average 35 in a year and not win MVP?
No, I'm not getting. Bron should have won it that year.
This is such a breath of fresh air. I'm so Andrew. We got.
Bron should have
They
won
was
it that
giving
year. If y'all
Steve
look
Nash.
at it.
Steve Nash was our MVP. Steve Nash was the NBA's MVP, averaging a triple single. Stop playing. He wasn't averaging a triple single. I'm just playing now. But he wasn't averaging 20 points a game. He averaged a double-double.
Yeah.
18 and 10. 18 and 10 ain't better than 35 and 6. I'm sorry.
I'm not rolling, man. I'm not rolling.
We can all agree, hey, whether we don't want to agree that Kobe deserved it, we can all agree that Steve Nash didn't deserve to win back-to-back. Whether it's LeBron, Shaq, or Kobe.
Facts.
I'm fine.
Somebody else got to get it.
I'm fine with it.
LeBron, since Jordan is 6'5", how tall are you?
5'11". I'm really 6'4" if I put on the right shoes.
I mean, Jordan about 6'6", but his shoes on
Jordan
there.
6'5", you can't be 5'11", because that's when we measured at the University of Arkansas. I'm pretty sure yours was 5'10" and some change. It wasn't even a lot of change. So if he's 6'5", I know I'm saying it wasn't even a lot of change. So are you?
That's relative.
So are you 5'11"?
I say 5'11" now, man.
So how tall is Michael Jordan?
I really want to give him 6'4".
Okay. See, you just
hold up now. Come on now. Come on now.
Inconsistent.
Come on
criteria.
now, man.
Inconsistent criteria. Well, we beat that horse to death enough. What were we gonna say? Oh, uncuffing season. It's starting to get warm outside. We got some fresh single male perspective in the building with us today. So, talking about not necessarily even getting out of relationship, but just being. Is this a good time a year to be single and on maybe not even looking, but just single? Is this a good time?
Look, honestly, when we talked about this a little bit earlier, I wasn't even knowledgeable enough on this theory. But now that I kind of had some time to think about it, I do think it's a good time to be single around this time, bro. You know why? I could look at it. Everybody is trying to get in their best shape of their lives to go out there and show their physiques off for this summer. You know, especially as college students or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, well, college students, y'all guys are a little bit past that now. Y'all into y'all adult ages or whatever.
Dang, we old.
Y'all getting old now. But y'all know how it was when y'all was back in college, man. You know, just it's a good time to, walk outside, go get in the pool, walk around with the shirt off a little bit. See, definitely, I think the seasons do play a little bit of a factor, rather than when it's cold outside, you got to have some extra clothes on, man. So, got to. So it's always best to have some extra skin. You got your woman over there. You ready to snuggle with her all the time because you ain't got nothing else to do. It's so cold outside. So I think the seasons do play a factor in that aspect. So yeah, what you think?
And when it's cuffing season, you want to be booed up. You want to be in the house, watching movies under the blanket, that type of stuff. But it's not even necessarily that I subscribe to the theory. I just see why it makes sense because everybody's outside. It's just there's so much to do. And with that, you can kind of see why people have labeled the winter season cuffing season, and as it starts to get warm, that's when you.
So when people got options, they supposed to let somebody go. Is what you saying?
No, I'm not. See, now you trying to.
That's what it sounds like to me. When people got more things to do, you don't need to be booed up. Is that the words of Damani?
No, those are not my words. What are your words?
I do want to hear this.
I said I subscribe to the theory. Go ahead.
One thing with cuffing season, it's almost catfishing. Because a lot of these people, they get ready they go all out from spring break to the summer to make sure they looking good. Summer come along, they slowly start letting off of it. Wintertime, when it's booed up season, they be letting go of themselves.
Fact.
People gotta stop doing that. I think it's a form of catfish. Either be you all the time, or don't. It's something we gotta do something about that.
Maybe it's them telling you that you gotta accept all forms of me.
True.
It'll be some times now, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and flex. Look, when I was in a relationship last year, bro, and I first met my girl, bro, I had a six pack. I was looking good, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? As I went through the process with her, she done seen me with a few big bellies. Not really big belly, but abs done been away. She never shied an eye away from me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta respect her and thank her for that. You know? So
Yeah.
I think we gotta accept it in all forms. Did she gain a little weight in the process? She put on about 10 pounds. She never looked bad, but you know, have I seen her in phenomenal shape? Yeah, but she still look good when she gained 10 pounds. So I just think it's that happy weight, bro. I think they get complacent when they find the person that they want to find.
And that's my thing. I think people, you need to
That
find them
relationship
when
work.
they at that happy weight. I don't like the finesse me in when you're over here and then you just gonna slowly get there. How do you know I signed up for that?
That's a
That's a
finesse
finesse.
now.
I got a question for y'all. So, what are your thoughts on, like, let's say, you know, your girl, she gets pregnant after she has a kid or whatever, right? Do you think that you should give your woman a time period to get herself back in shape before you make appropriate? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I was thinking about it, bro. Like let's say if I get with a girl and she's in great shape, you know what I'm saying? We're together for a few years, looking great. Then she gets pregnant, and then after she gets pregnant, she just blows up, man. Like, that's not the woman I married. You know, that's not the woman I chose to be with. Like, don't you think there should be like some sort of time period, whether it's 6 months to a year, like to get back right, bro? Like, what y'all think? I've been thinking about this a lot.
I have no idea.
It was
I have no
right now.
idea on this one.
Whether or not Byron will say it on the show, he agree with you. Byron definitely agree with you. Me, I just look. Carrying a child is hard. Like obviously, I don't know from experience, but some of the more I look into the process, the more I respect anybody with a uterus that goes through it. It's a lot.
Facts.
It's a whole lot. So I mean, can you have that conversation with the person, even though it might hurt some feelings? I think you got to be smart about it if you do. But I could see,
You got to slide. You can't just go straight up to them with it.
tough.
They're gonna be mad. You got to slide it in and be like, hey, you want to start working out with me every now and then?
That's tough to slide into the conversation. Yeah, that's tough to slide in.
Hey, you want to start working out with me, going to the gym every now and then? You want, hey, let's go get a smoothie right now or something like that. You know, we haven't eaten. That's gonna be our meal replacement for something like that. You know, slide in a little bit.
Christmas membership, Christmas gym membership as a gift.
Yeah. Oh, they got a deal at Planet Fitness. What? You sign up today? Oh, okay.
Hey, bro. If you give somebody a gym membership, that is the most backhanded gift I think that you could ever give.
What if you lie and say, hey, I got myself a membership, but I got the black card, so you can come with me if you want to. It's not your membership, it's mine.
Hey, that's an idea. But I guess now to answer your question, I couldn't make it a time period.
I don't think I can make it a time period just because I don't know how long it takes for them in general to like.
Yeah.
Well, I think it varies with each person as well, so I don't know. And
you would Google it on your phone at the hospital as they was figuring it out. As they was before the baby was named, you would have that information.
I don't think I could do it.
Let me say this. Let me clear the air before this. People see this and they be questioning. Look, I got respect for all women. And I'm really thankful for all the women that gives birth and all that stuff, and that's a tough process. Obviously, I'm just joking right now. I know that it takes a lot to have a baby and stuff like that. So you just take all the time you need. Look, just disregard that I ever said this to all the women out there watching this.
Oh,
I'm good. Well, you might have saved yourself an angry DM or two there.
Thank you.
Going back to the summer season. Do y'all think as a whole that, because we know we talk about sometimes people, being lonely when it gets cold and jumping into relationships they ain't got no business being in because they're lonely and because it's cuffing season. Does the reverse happen now sometimes? Do people jump out of relationships that are good situations because there are options out there?
I think people jump out of relationships because I think when you're with a person for a while, and there's highs and lows in a relationship. Some people really question, they try to look for something that's perfect, and they're always aspiring to find something that's perfect. And once you really realize that nothing's gonna be perfect, and that you got to continue to build your partner, and that building with your partner is better than starting over with somebody that you don't really know, that's when it kind of clicks for them, So I definitely had not really a problem with that when I was younger, but the grass ain't always greener, bro. And once you got a good one, I think you should really keep her,
Question though, how do you know if the grass is? Sometimes the grass is green.
That's actually a good point, bro.
And you don't.
And the grass is greener.
And you don't know.
I don't know, but it's a risk that you gotta be willing to take. I think you should only take that risk, bro, if you really feel like it's not gonna work between you and your girl, man. But if it's gonna work with her, if it's gonna work with her, bro, like why would I? If I got something good and I'm satisfied with what I got, and I know that we can turn this into something great and spectacular, why would I go somewhere else where they're offering the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's bad and I feel like we ain't going to get nothing out of this, then maybe the grass is greener. Yeah. But if I got a good thing, why would I separate? Why would I trade a good thing for another good thing when I already got a good thing? And I got more time with this person.
See, I put it like on a grading scale. Like if I'm dating somebody and it's a B, you don't test out the grass to see if you can find an A. But if you dating a C or D, you flip a coin. You might want to take their risk to see if their grass green. That's how I think of it.
You know what? And yeah, I'm not even gonna speak on that, but I understand why you're saying that.
Yeah,
for sure. C's and D's. You know what they say though, bro? C's and D's get degrees.
That's true. They can get the job done.
So, I don't know. I think it's all about what do you do? How do you base your grading scale though? What is this all based off of? I'm really curious about that.
That's how you feel in the relationship. I think that's one of the most important things in a relationship. If you're not happy, you feel like you just dread being in a relationship, that can't be a good relationship for the most part. Well, I guess it still can be. If you're not happy the whole time, well, not the whole time, but like part of the time, if you don't feel good in a relationship, get out of it.
Do you believe that all relationships come with their own problems? Like they come with major problems and major obstacles that you have to overcome in order to grow with that person?
I don't feel all relationships come with major problems. I think all relationships have problems, and some people are just more compatible just naturally. And so they will have problems. I don't think they would have to have big problems. I think only some relationships have big problems.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good answer, bro. But like I said, man, I'm just not big into. For instance, if I got some fours, right? Let's look at the 11s. If I got some bread 11s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Concords just come out, and they telling me, oh, you can only have one pair. I might as well just keep my bread 11s, bro. It's already a great pair of shoes. The Concords hard too now, but these breads been getting me through the day every day, and they look good. I'm keeping them up. I'm just keeping my cool bread 11s. You know what I'm saying? Rather than flipping over to the other side where. You never know. There might be some replica Jordans over here. I know what I got over here. I got some real authentic J's. But these Concords, they look good. But who's to tell that they're not replica or something like that? So I think that's what people got to really be aware of when they're thinking they can find something better. It's not about finding something better for the world. It's about finding what makes you happy and what makes you feel good. I think people need to really realize that because social media has destroyed our thought processes on relationships, in my opinion.
I agree.
You see that.
Damani, what's your thoughts on this? You ain't said nothing.
What we thinking about?
No, not about.
I said I subscribed.
Not
to
about the newer, the most recent question.
What was the most recent question? I want to make sure that I adequately answer exactly what you're trying to
I forgot what it was.
Ahead.
I just don't remember you answering it.
Okay. Well, the first thing I said was I subscribe to the theory. It just makes sense. It makes sense.
My question
More
is
people
this:
outside.
would you give up a good thing?
That's what.
Looking for something better, or would you just stick with your good thing?
No, I wouldn't give up a good thing. I think. Well, hold on. Here's Here is an answer that might get us somewhere. I think, as an answer to my question, like what I originally said, do people give up good stuff around this time because of what is out there? 100%, yes, they do. Yes.
My
Because and y'all touched on the grass being greener. It's not even necessarily that the grass is greener. It's just that you can see that there's so much grass. Like it's a lot of grass out there. And then you just looking at your lawn every day, just thinking, this other grass. Like there's a whole football field worth of grass out there, and I'm just looking at this. I keep looking at the same lawn. I'm tired of it. And that's what happens.
Hey.
That's what happened. I've seen it happen to many a person, all across the spectrum of gender. It's not just dudes. It happens.
Sometimes that grass be catfishing though, bro. Sometimes that grass be catfishing.
Yeah. And I think there are a lot of people that, they do it for the wrong reason, but they do get out of a bad relationship. But there are people that get out of good relationships because of the amount of grass out there. And then they end up, sending them hey big head texts around July. But it's over.
For instance, you got you a great NFL stadium right here. Well, not NFL stadium. They have turfs, obviously. You got you a great college stadium right here, full of grass, right in your bedroom, right next to you, right? Then you look a little bit further, man, and you think you see like this phenomenal area of grass, right? And then you walk over there, the closer you get, man, you give them the grass. They got potholes in that grass. That's not good grass. It look good, but it don't feel good.
I've seen it happen to many a grass enthusiast. I've seen it happen
Damani,
many times.
I don't understand this with you is my thing. All my life, I've known you as a risk taker. And you always say that you're a risk taker. Like you want to take those chances. Why with this do you not take a chance? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, why with this don't you take a chance?
I think you have to accurately account for. I'm gonna keep going with the grass thing. I think you have to accurately account for your stadium, just like he was saying, because there's a whole bunch of stuff out there, but you really have to accurately account for: is this just me becoming complacent with my current situation and looking at all of the enticing elements of what else is out there? Because nobody that you pick is going to provide everything.
That's facts, bro.
Everything.
That's facts.
So when you see something that you don't have, it's kind of human nature to be like, wow, I wonder what that's like. And eventually, especially when sundress season happens, when you go into the pool and seeing a whole bunch of grass, there's different things that go through people's heads. So you have to accurately account for what you have, and
people
a lot of times the different enticements that are out there just lead people to make decisions.
That's a great point, bro.
I got you, man.
I definitely agree with that, bro. Because a lot of times, bro, and you really see it. Because I got some friends, that, I've been cool with for years, bro. And they got a great girl, bro. But they done been together so long, they forget to appreciate their girl, bro. Like, you forget to realize what you have. Mm-hmm. And then, like, if the worst of the worst happens and they leave, bro, then you realize, like, damn, I missed out on something good over here tasting something that wasn't even as good, bro.
Yeah.
Just because it's new. Just because it's new don't mean it's better. So.
And they always try to go back, and it's too late.
Facts.
Then the dudes that end up out in the rain with the boombox over there.
Would you do that, Damani?
He would. That's Damani's style. That's Damani's
I feel like he would definitely do it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily my style. I'm a romantic.
He would definitely go out there in the trench coat,
hopeless,
with the boombox over his head, with his head to the side like this, singing.
I might sing it, to be honest. I wouldn't even need the boombox. I'd be out there vocalizing.
You can sing a little bit?
You see, you already got a whole nother
Just
man.
a tad. I'm not going to do it.
Dang.
Oh, I'm gonna be in there singing Carl Thomas. Wish I never met you.
But yeah.
Either that or I can hit it with the Bobby Womack if I want to be mean.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the ones, bro. I think people go into relationships with insecurities too, though. If you look at it, bro, like we're talking about, obviously, if you got a good one, you got a good one. But some people have good ones, bro, and they just question them all the time, and they really like question them, like vice versa, whether it's man or woman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they question them all the time, and they never realize what they have, and it affects both parties, bro. So I think that plays a big role into it too, you know. I think if trust never existed, if there was never a thing that could break trust and that never existed, and that I think relationships would be all that people do. But trust plays a big role in relationships, bro. And once you don't have that trust that can allow you to be secure in who you are with this person, that destroys it. You know, destroys you and them going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you preach. We're gonna go ahead and end the show on that advice right there. that little bit of wisdom. We very much appreciate you for hopping on with us. You have provided tremendous insight to this LeBron lover, and man, we wish you all the best, dog. For real. We're gonna be following, and we know you're gonna kill it. But shoot, we just gonna watch and see it happen. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us wherever you rocking with us. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, and one thing I wanted to say while we all here, a rest in peace to the homie Brian Wallace. Gone too soon. You know, we got a lot of great memories with Big Wall, and our prayers are with his family and with everybody that know him and that love him.
Was a good guy.
And with that,
great guy.
Yeah, great dude. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and close it out. Byron, you got anything
We appreciate
else
y'all. We appreciate you, Andrew. Y'all people, make sure y'all checking him out this season. He going to be on TV. Tune in. And y'all have a good one.
When you make it through the struggle, you the truth. When that pressure get applied, is you gon' pass it, you gon' shoot. I stood tall. When you make it through the struggle and the pain, do you get your umbrella off the chance that it might rain? I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, you could try to count me out, but you ain't gon' ever hold me down. When I see my people going through it, I put the blame on me. And I see my homie lose his mind, but I gave him his first taste of lean. I ain't gon' lie, that really hurt me, but I had to close the curtains. And one thing I learned on Lion King is everybody gotta eat. Never tell a party, let me get a whole piece. Said, nah, little homie, can't get that from me. You play football, you got a bright future, you supposed to see you on the TV. And I said, that's true, and I'm gon' do it, but I really gotta make something happen. And I probably could've asked my family for something, but instead I started hitting licks with daddy. Ain't gon' lie, that turned me to a savage. Really living life like a bandit. And then Murph told me, keep your head on, man, don't do nothing reckless. But now I'm older now, I'm a grown man. Go to church every Sunday, I'm a praying man. You ain't gonna never see me fall, I'm always standing. One thing I do is stick to the plan. When you make it through